Across the sands of Giza, three colossal structures rise, silent, geometric, enduring. For 4.5 millennia, they have asked a single question: how? Millions of limestone blocks, some granite beams weighing tens of tons, stacked into near-perfect forms. Their corners point nearly true north, south, east, and west. Precision that challenges modern surveyors. Clues remain: quarries with tool marks, traces of ramps and harbors, papyri that record crews and deliveries. From riverbanks to desert plateau, a national effort moved stone, measured angles, and laid courses, one atop another. No magic, just clever methods, time, and extraordinary coordination. To grasp the pyramid, we begin with the basics: the rock beneath, the river beside it, and the simple tools that shaped both. This is the story of stone, and the human will to master it, block by block. Every great construction project begins with its materials, and the pyramids are no exception. The vast majority of the structure, the core of the mountain of stone, is made from millions of blocks of yellowish limestone. The Giza Plateau itself is a massive limestone formation. The primary building material was right there, on site. Archaeologists have identified quarries just south of the Great Pyramid, vast scooped-out areas with the outlines of blocks cut away. Moving millions of stones was colossal. Quarrying close by was the only logical solution. For the outer casing, they used fine white Tura limestone, polished to a brilliant gleam. New pyramids shone like sunbeams. Most casing was later stripped to build Cairo, but a few blocks at Khufu's base and near Khafre's summit hint at the original splendor. For inner chambers protecting the sarcophagus, they turned to granite, tremendously hard, symbolic, and strong. It had to be quarried in Aswan, more than 800 kilometers to the south. Granite with copper is difficult. Workers used harder dolerite pounders to bash the stone into shape. Then, multi-ton blocks, some whale-sized, traveled all the way down the Nile by boat. The tools were elegantly simple yet effective. For limestone, workers cut deep channels using copper chisels and saws, aided by abrasive sand. They drove wooden wedges into slots. Soaked with water, the wedges expanded with tremendous force, cracking blocks from the bedrock. It was a slow, laborious process grounded in material knowledge and an incredible amount of human power. For stones from Aswan, the journey began on water. The annual inundation raised canals and waterways nearer Giza. The Diary of Merer, a 4,500-year-old foreman's journal, describes transporting Tura limestone by boat via artificial canals to an inland harbor at the plateau's foot. Stones were offloaded close to the site and placed on wooden sleds, as shown in tomb scenes and sled finds. But dragging on dry sand was punishing. A tomb scene shows a man pouring liquid ahead of the sled. Modern experiments reveal that a precise amount of water stiffens sand via capillary bridges, drastically reducing friction, halving the pulling force. A simple solution to a massive problem. Getting blocks to Giza was half the battle. Lifting them, course by course, to heights of up to 146 meters. That's the mind-bender. The most widely accepted theory is ramps, but their exact form is debated. A single straight ramp at workable slope would stretch over a mile and require nearly pyramid-scale material. Alternatives: a long ramp, a zigzag, a spiral. An exterior spiral saves fill, but it obscures corners and faces. Surveying would be a nightmare, risking geometric accuracy. French architect Jean-Pierre Houdin proposes 2 ramps, a short external straight ramp for the bottom third, then a hidden internal spiral ramp for the upper courses. This keeps corners visible, preserving precision throughout. It also aligns with interior anomalies, a lower density spiral feature identified by microgravimetry. Regardless of ramp configuration, simple machines were essential for final placement. With wooden levers, a team could lift one edge, slide thin packing beneath, and repeat on all sides. rocking the block upward and forward into precise position. Combined with rope-hauled sleds up ramps, the system was slow and laborious, but incredibly effective for building a mountain of stone. For centuries, we pictured armies of slaves under whips. Modern archaeology paints a far more interesting picture. A discovered city beside the pyramids shows organized provisioning. Industrial bakeries, fish facilities, large dormitories, and diets rich in beef. Skeletons show medical care. Crews, files, left proud graffiti. These were native Egyptians in seasonal service, organized with remarkable efficiency. One awe-inspiring aspect is precision, a near-perfect square whose side lengths differ by only a few centimeters, aligned to true north, south, east, and west within a few arc minutes. How without compasses or lasers? The answer lies in the stars, circumpolar guides central to religion and timekeeping. With a gnomon on a level surface, marking shadows finds the shortest at local noon, pointing south. A right angle yields east-west. Alternatively, bisecting a star's rising and setting azimuths gives north-south, or waiting for two stars to align vertically around the pole. Once oriented, simple tools, long ropes, A-frame levels with plumb lines, and wooden set squares maintained square, slope, 51/8, and straightness. By constantly checking from corners as the structure rose, the four faces met flawlessly at a single point high above the desert floor, a stairway to the stars. Extraordinary theories abound. Aliens, lost technologies cast in place concrete. But evidence points to human hands and minds. We have quarries with marks, tools, sleds, a workers' city with bakeries, breweries, homes, and crew names like the Friends of Khufu. Casting sounds convenient, but blocks show natural fossils and bedding matching Giza's strata. Tool marks fit carving, not casting. Myths often ignore two things: time and people. Tens of thousands, over about 2 decades, with a simple toolkit and practical science. As we unravel how, we must ask why. Religion and the afterlife shaped their greatest works. Pyramids were monumental tombs, resurrection machines, protecting the king's body and launching his soul to the eternal cosmos. Their shape evoked the Ben-Ben and the sun's rays. Alignments linked the pharaoh to the imperishable stars that never set. Building ensured Mayat, cosmic order, with the pharaoh as intermediary, focusing religious and economic life, symbolizing absolute power. There was no single magic bullet, just many clever solutions applied with astonishing perseverance. They are monuments not only to pharaohs, but to thousands of engineers, scribes, artisans, and laborers who planned and built them. Villages show real lives, who ate, drank, healed the injured, while undertaking one of history's most ambitious projects. With muon scans, satellites, and DNA, each new find, from hidden voids to a humble foreman's diary, adds pieces to the puzzle. It's the story of the dawn of science, engineering, and the modern state. They inspire wonder, connect us across 4,500 years, and challenge us to consider time and the enduring power of human ambition.